Hello everybody, it's Anne from Stampin'Up. Welcome to the card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at StampsNTea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is StampsNTea.stampinup.net. So, welcome everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Simcoe, Ontario. The sun's shining and that's always welcome in the winter. Let's get down to business. If you watch my video on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, if you could leave a comment or a like, it would be appreciated. It helps my ratings on those different channels. If you're on YouTube, you can find all my videos. My channel is called StampsNTea. So let's turn the camera down and we'll see what we're going to make today. So the stamp set we're going to use today is called Thoughtful Expressions. It's a lovely stamp and die set. It's actually from the January to April 24 catalogue, but it's a lovely set and it's a very useful set. The DSP we're going to use with it is from Celebration. It's this lovely package called Bloom Impressions, and it has all the beautiful flowery papers in with sort of watercoloured backgrounds and paler backgrounds, all lovely colours and all colours that we can use every day in our card making. So let's put that out of the way. I hope you got a package of that during Celebration, because it's just the best paper ever, I think. Okay, now let me just straighten up here and see if I can manage with the lights today. Okay, so we've got some basic supplies for today's card. We're going to use Blackberry Bliss, and Blackberry Bliss is not a colour I use very often because I struggle to put the right colours with it, you know. So we've got Blackberry Bliss cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored. It will be in a second, scored at 4.25. Jackie Van der Sar showed us a nice trick on how to fold your card and get your edges even, because often when you fold your card, when you score it, you know, it's just not quite straight, or it moves just a little bit. But if you put your card on your cutter and you push it up to the top, you've got a lip here that catches the card, and when you fold your card, your edges are straight, are perfectly straight. It was a really great tip. Such a simple tip, but such a useful tip for everybody. So we have that. For the inside, we've got a piece of basic white 5.25 by 4. For the front, we have a piece of the beautiful DSP that I showed you, and it's again 5.25 by 4. We've got a scrap of white for the sentiment for the front, and we have a strip of the same DSP. It's going to make a tab for the card to help close the card. You'll see what I mean when we make the card. So we've got some stamps here, we've got some Memento ink, we have some Blackberry Bliss ink, we've got some markers, we have dark Mango Melody, light Daffodil Delight, and light Granny Apple Green, and that's just to colour a little flower for the front of the card. So let's get started. We're going to do the stamping first. So we've got the piece for the inside. Now this card is going to be a tent card, so it's going to have a top fold, so I must make sure that my sentiment is stamped the right way. It's got to go sideways, landscape if you will. I have this scrap of card, and I'm going to try and get my sentiment on here and my flower. So we'll do the flower first, and it's just a tiny little flower. It's this little flower here from the Thoughtful Expressions set. Everything, the stamps and dies we're using today, they're all in the Thoughtful Expressions set. So I'm going to stamp my flower right down there close to the edge, and I'm not worried that it's not a sharp image. It's going to be coloured over, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let's get that out of the way. we have, let me think, for the inside of the card, you're in my thoughts today, but we're going to stamp that in Blackberry Bliss. Yeah, just make sure I've got no dust on my card there. And that's going to go right in the middle. There, you're in my thoughts today. And then we have, for the front of the card, sometimes there are no words. I've got a lot of dust from this Blackberry Bliss card, and I just have to keep shaking it off. Sometimes there are no words, and I'm going to stamp that right to the left side of my scrap of card. This piece, it's about, I think it's 4 1/4 by 2 1/2, and I've got my sentiment and my flower on there. So what we're going to do next, that's all we've got to do for stamping. So let's close this up. I'm just going to grab a plate for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to put all these things on at the same time and try and cut everything out in just one pass. Okie doke. So we've got this. We've got some dies here. Oh, first of all, what I must do, I must put this piece of DSP on the card, on the front card, because we're going to cut the hole. We're going to cut a hole through both pieces. Now, I do have an extra piece of cardstock just in case I mess up, but originally I was thinking I had to cut an extra piece for my sentiment for the front, but I don't if I'm careful, because the piece that is behind here, when I cut it out, I can use that to back my sentiment. So let's see how we do. So we just want to put adhesive, liquid adhesive, around the outside edges of the card. Just a little bit. Make sure I go right to the edges. So stand that up in there. Now I've got to watch which way my flowers go, because flowers grow up. So that's gonna go down on here like this. And I've got, because I've used liquid adhesive, I've got room to give it a little push if I need, where I need to make it nice and straight. There. So now I'm going to take some dies from this set, and this is a lovely set. It's got a great set of dies with it. If you can get hold of this set now, it really is a great buy. It has let me see, frames, you know, this way for sentiments. It has beautiful circles. Those circles are gorgeous. You can cut out all your stamps that you punch. We are going to use, this one, the little flower, so we need that, and we need the second and third dies like this, and we're going to cut those out all at the same time if we can, on one pass through the Big Shot. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to put this so that the card is, the back of the card is hanging off the top of my mat. And then I'm going to line my die up in the middle of the front of the card. Tape it down. That looks about centered. Okay, then I'm going to take my white piece of cardstock that I stamped my sentiment and my flower on. And I'm going to take my smaller size die, rectangle die, and I'm going to put it so that this is right over to the left of the die and about centered, you know, centered top and bottom, but right over to the left of the die. Tape that down, and then I've got my flower die here, and I'm going to put this down. About there, there. and I'm just going to take this one plate over to the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, feed this end through first so it's gone beyond the rollers, and then cut all of this out at the same time. I'll be right back. Now this piece moved a little bit on the board, but it's okay, it didn't cut the card. So when I lift this piece here off carefully, you see how, because I didn't put adhesive right in the center of the card, I can now use this piece to back my sentiment. Isn't that clever? I think it is. It's the little things that impress me. Okay, let's get these dies back on the board. What else do we have? We have this one with our sentiment. There. Put that back on there, and then we've got, oh yeah, a flower. All right, so we've got all those back on the board. Right, and I've got a basket here beside me, and I'm trying to just pop everything that I use into the basket so that I'm keeping my table sort of clean, somewhat clean. I have to say, I've been cleaning up in here in my craft room. I haven't done it in years. Not that I haven't cleaned up in here, but that I haven't given it a really good pull apart, you know, where I take everything off the shelves and give it all a really good clean. So I did that there. I'm doing that right now, and I have to say, when you've got room on your desk and you can see the tools you need to work with and whatever, it's much easier to make a card when you're clean and tidy. So that's my advice for this morning. All right, so there's the card with the piece cut out. So we've got this 6-inch strip, and we're going to take this piece and we're going to take the inside of the card. Now when I use this piece, I want to see the green on the back come through there. So I've got to fold my card this way, and I've got about, I want to make sure it comes to the top of the inside of the card, about there. So my sentiment was stamped about the middle, so this is going to be about the middle, and then I'm just going to fold this over so that I've got a nice sharp edge, and I've got a clean edge at the top. You could, if you wanted to, fold this piece over the back a little less and have a piece hanging off here so that you could trim it if you want to. I'm just going to eyeball this and hope for the best. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to fold it over. We're going to put adhesive on here and glue it to the back of the card insert. Enough. Now I need to make sure that I'm looking, or I'm placing this right where I want it. So I'm going to put this piece down first, just like that, so it's just about covering the sentiment. Tuck this piece under and give it a good press. There. Alright, so let's set that to the side with the card. Let's take, got a little bit of adhesive on there. There. Now I need to look at this under the light so I can see which way I'm going. This is going on here like this, but first I'm going to colour my flower. Now when I cut my flower out, it's not perfect, so I'm just going to take my scissors and trim this one little piece here. Try and fake it, you know, so that it looks like I did it right the first time. There we go. There. Now I've got 3 markers. I have dark Mango Melody, I have light Daffodil Delight, and I have light Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to quickly colour this flower. And I don't want to go too heavy with my colours. Light Daffodil Delight. And this of course is where I stop talking, but I'm going to try and carry on. As you know, Celebration is finished, and I need to thank everybody who purchased through me during Celebration. It was very much appreciated. and it helps my totals, and really it was amazing. Celebration was as good as it ever is, and I'm happy for that. So we're just colouring this lightly, and you see, you don't need to add any extra bits, you know, any extra dark parts, because you've got the black lines in there. And that's why I try not to stamp too hard when I'm stamping with the memento, because I don't want the lines to be, you know, the focal point. I want the lines to fade into the background if I can. I'm just going to colour the leaves in light granny apple green. There. We'll just put an extra line down the middle for a little bit of shading. And here we go. And that, my friends, is it. There. So we're just going to leave it like that. So we're going to put this card together. We're going to put this sentiment down on here, right in the center. This is going right in the center of this piece. Try and make it nice and straight. Oh, that's quite straight. I just peel that off. Make it nice and straight. That looks good. I'll go with that. So we've got that. We've got some lemon lolly twine, just a little bit of twine. I'm going to cut off about, I don't know, maybe 12 inches, maybe not even. And I'm just going to take it and wrap it around 3 fingers like this. Okay. Just so that it sits like that. And I'm just going to put some adhesive here where my flower is going to sit, but this adhesive is to hold the strings down. Alright, and I'm just going to grasp it in the middle. Let me see if I've just messed that up. Let me do that again. Wrap it around about 3 fingers. There. Pinch it in the middle, or even just pull the top and the bottom and put it down on the back on the front of the card, on the label, like that, making sure it's all pressed down. Let's pull that piece around just like that. There. And I'm going to put some I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of my flower here. Now I want to get a dimensional up into the point, so I'm putting this one here like this, and then I'm going to put, let's have a look, we'll cut a couple of pieces off here. Let's just leave that, so that can go there, and this can go here. Right, that should hold that flower nicely. One, there we are, all the ends off. I'm going to put the flower just sitting this way. There, and that holds the flower down nice and securely. The 3 dimensionals seems like a lot. I know some people get away with 1. I can't seem to. So there's my flower down. Now this piece is going to go in the center of the card like this. I'll put that out of the way for just a minute. I'm going to just put adhesive on the back of this. Put this in the center. Just like that. There. Now we're going to close the card, putting this tab through the center, like just like that through the center. So I'm going to put adhesive on the green piece so that I know it stays on the green piece, and it's not gonna you know, if I put it on the label I might not have it in the right spot. All right, so we're going to pop this in here like this into the space that we cut it out of in the first place. Press it down, lift the card so that we know that the card can lift and it's not stuck to the label anywhere, just like that. And then this piece here, we're just going to take our scissors and we're going to just cut down about a ½ an inch right in the center. We're just going to cut from the corner to the center, and the corner here to the center. There. Corner to the center, corner to the center. And then your card, when it opens like that. See, lots of dust from this Blackberry Bliss card. So there, that opens like that, and it closes up like that, and it makes a nice sympathy card. And it's always easier for me to make a sympathy card when I don't need one. There's the card. So there it is, today's card. Quick sympathy card. As I say, it's always easier to make a sympathy card when I don't need one. This card I found on Pinterest. It was not my own design. I found it on Pinterest, and it was posted by a lady called Pamela Purser White. So I need to thank Pamela for her design. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It makes a lovely card. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.